This episode is brought to you by D2C Design, your growth partner for high-performance e-commerce. If you're wondering what's holding back your Shopify store, D2C Design offers a free consultative conversion block report. That's right, no strings attached. Just contact them, set up a free call, and they'll break down exactly what your site needs. Again, D2C Design. All right, my next guest is a true connector. He's a guy that's created his own opportunities by opening doors for other people. He's a hustler, he's an entrepreneur, he's a master networker, but most importantly, I get to call him my friend. Iman Jalali, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Sounds like I wrote that intro.
Right from the dome, brother, right from the dome.
Yeah, no, I love it. I appreciate it. And happy to be here, excited, and a little scared on which way we go.
Oh, we're going to go down a lot. Welcome to the Matrix.
Yeah, I know, that's how it feels.
So what's funny is there's a reason that I invited you on. It was literally specific to something that you posted on LinkedIn and X, which I found very interesting. You and I started a text conversation about it. I said, hold up. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's talk about it on the pod. Yeah. So the first time I'm going to learn about it and what you're doing now is going to be here today. But I think, look, a little bit of background on you. You were the president of a company called Train Signal that was acquired by Pluralsight. Very successful exit. We met through a mutual friend of ours, Scott Skinger, who was the founder of that company. Then you moved on. And we worked together when you were at Outcome Health. Yep. And then after that, you know, you've gone on to lots of different things. You've dabbled in a million things. Yep. But really where your home has been the last couple of years, which is a multifamily and real estate investing. And it's funny because I one of the things that I recognize is that although we weren't in the same circles, we were once removed, like they say, game recognizes game. Right. And I think that you and I view the world of business rather similarly, right? Where talent is an undervalued asset, and so you want to surround yourself with talented people, that your network can get you very far, and it's not a transactional type of thing. It's a process and something that you build and hold dear and do for a long, long time. So that's how we started to talk, and then 15 years later, we're still buddies, and you're on this podcast. We're going to go to dinner after. Have a lot of fun, man.
I love it.
Well, it's funny because I think one of the things that drew me to you first was Scott, our really good friend, who's very different, right? He's very analytical, very sharp business mind, but he's a little more reserved. And I remember he's telling me, he's like, oh, I'm going to Vegas this weekend to have dinner with Tony Hsieh. I go, how on earth did you connect with Tony Hsieh? And he goes, through Iman. And that's a great story.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I don't know when or how I realized this, but early on, it was just a matter of the click in your brain where it's you can just reach out to people. Like the worst thing that can happen is they say no. Yeah. And so this is obviously kind of called necessarily pre-social media at that point, where a little easier to connect. You're not getting kind of bombarded if you're kind of a notable figure, a business leader. And so I remember sending him an email. I found his email address online, and I sent an email that was essentially I think he was just on like the cover of
he hadn't hit peak Tony Hsieh yet.
Yeah, it wasn't peak Tony Hsieh, but it was like Entrepreneur Magazine or Inc. or someone had basically just written a story about him. And there was some very interesting and unique things that they were doing within their culture. Yeah. And at Train Signal, culture was just people kind of first and foremost on our kind of just how we operated the business. And I was interested in how he looks at scaling culture and kind of how Zappos was kind of prioritizing culture. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, respect what you're doing. It's really interesting. Have not come across anyone else doing this. Would love to just sit down and just learn from you, just be a sponge. And to make it easier, I'll come out whenever. You just name the day and I'm there. So if you're like, hey, I'm free next Tuesday for lunch, I'll be there.
Right.
And he responded and he's like, if you're down to come by, sure. And not only that, it ended up basically turning into a much longer thing. Number one, we did the typical kind of, he gave us a tour and he introduced me to basically their executive team. We talked about the culture. We went out to lunch and we like personally connected to the point where after we were emailing each other after their trip and everything too. And he ended up inviting me back. I forgot the time frame, but we'll just say like a year later. And he said, at that point, basically, the culture in the Zappos story was starting
and his
to
book came out.
Yeah, the book,
right.
Everybody's talking about it. Like, people wanted him to basically do keynote speeches and all that. And he's like, he emails me and he basically says, all these large companies are reaching out and they want to basically try to learn from us and our culture. So we're doing this program and we want to figure out how to kind of do this like boot camp. So if you are the whatever, let's just say the head of people over at Southwest Airlines, and you reach out and you want to learn, we're going to put together this like 3-day boot camp at our headquarters. We'll bring our entire team through. You're going to learn how we do it. And would you like to come and basically be like our demo, like our first like beta audience or a beta test? And I was like, yes, absolutely. So then I went back and spent more time out there.
No way.
Basically did their entire kind of culture program. And then got so close again there where I connected with two of the executives, and now to this day, Alfred Lin, who was their CFO back then, who's gone off to be an incredible VC, and got invited to their holiday party.
You don't even work there.
No, yeah, we went to it was one of their big holiday parties and stuff. So incredible story. Sadly, obviously, he passed away a couple of years ago, but it really kind of came down to just reach out.
Yeah,
it can't hurt. The worst thing is you don't get something back, or they're like, no.
Right. And there's definitely a technique to reaching out.
Yes,
like if you call them and say, I want to sell you, like, okay, I get 1,000 of those, right?
Yeah.
But there's a value or an interest, or you make it about them. It opens up the dialogue. It's also brings down their defense mechanisms.
100%.
Right? And I agree with you 100%. The amount of meetings I've gotten, they're like, how did you meet that guy? I was like, I literally called him.
Yeah.
I literally called him, and he picked up the phone, and I said whatever, or I DM'd him on LinkedIn, and they take it. I mean, including like the podcast. People were like, how'd you get that guest? I'm like, no. I literally sent him a DM on IG, and he got back to me, and
Yeah, it goes back to the sports quote that I'm like, basically, you got to take the shots.
You got to take your shots.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Every single day for me, it's basically you're taking shots. So like, I've told you the story where it's like friends of mine are like, you got a horseshoe up your ass, and I'm like, I don't have a horseshoe up my ass. It's that I take that many shots. You don't see all the shots.
You take a lot of shots. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like shot after shot after shot, and then suddenly it's like, hey, you won't believe what just happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you got lucky. You're like, well, you didn't see the 99 misses.
So like you're the first guy I knew personally that had the blue check mark on Twitter.
When
it was hard to get.
So that's because I asked. So
right.
We this is going back to 2010 probably. We were early on social media in terms of Train Signal, and we actually because we were so early, we were in the Tribune or Cranes because like, oh, we had a social media strategy, and they're like, what is this?
Yeah, right.
So with that, I asked we started advertising on Twitter, and back then it was actually very profitable and worked out. I asked our account rep because again they were small, they were tiny, like they weren't. Nothing like
nothing, man.
It was
pretty
like, hey,
fringe.
Can I get a blue check? Like, and he's like, sure. Like he CC'd like the other department.
Yeah,
it doesn't cost them anything. They don't care.
They're
just keeping a customer happy.
But you asked.
So I had the check early on, which was interesting again because on Twitter for the period when it was hard to get, it helped open doors too.
You got in the New York Times.
Yeah. Like it opened doors like for just a lot of things. Even in Chicago, like I got invited to like these openings, and like David Pizer was opening up the hotel, and he invited me to the hotel for like this like tour and like this tasting and all. It was like,
you were an influencer before influencers.
It was I just didn't like I should be making millions off that. But
you didn't capitalize on that part.
I think it was the lack of the hair or something, the balding, like really the looks.
But I mean, you are for sure your net worth is your net worth.
100%,
like,
absolutely. I was never the smartest kid in class. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think my high school GPA is probably a 2.5 or something like that. Like, it's realized. I don't know how or why or how I got here in the sense of the self-awareness, because I think no matter. This entire conversation is kind of like like the network, but it's also the self-awareness to know. Don't try to be someone you're truly not.
Yeah.
There's a difference between kind of like fake it till you make it in a sense, or just like, so the self-awareness was like, you're like, you're a 2.5 kind of GPA dude. Like, how else can you excel in this world?
Correct.
And that's basically, it kind of comes down to, the way I look at it is like, what's good? If you're really, really damn good at your craft, but you like suck with people, there's a ceiling.
100%.
But if you're pretty like decent at what you do, but you're incredible with people, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're very comfortable in your own skin. You're a great hang. But one of the things I would tell you is you're a very good listener, and you make it about others. One of the things I find with people is that they just like, they railroad you, and you're like, dude, like, you've been talking 90% of the time. Yeah. Shut up and listen. And it's great for sales and business development. And then I think the long view, and I don't know, I catch myself all the time. I'll be in a situation, I'm like, this is really cool. And I'm like, how did I get here? And it was a conversation I had 5 years before that with so-and-so who connected me with so-and-so. And like, that's how I got here. Yeah. But you're right. No one sees behind the scenes those other meetings, that coffee that you grab.
It's like a butterfly effect.
It has, but if you do it long enough, the payoff is great. I told people the other day, we acquired a company earlier this year, and within the first 2 or 3 weeks of acquiring it, I had 20 great conference calls. Well, like the buyer at this company, and the guy who bought it, he goes, "How the hell? Like,
how'd you do it?"
And I go, "Because for 25 years I've been doing all that." I go, "When I was 22 years old, if I would have gotten that in an entire year, I would have been excited."
Sometimes you're doing that and you don't know why you're doing it in the sense of what the end result is.
Correct.
But it's, I don't know, it's like kind of like throwing a bunch of like seeds out there. Yeah. And like you water them for years and decades.
Correct.
To no point. Not that like you're like, you don't even know what fruit's going to come out or what plant's going to come out. Yeah. One day it does, and you're like, that's why. It's like
that's why I did it. And you guys don't see the work.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got to stay at it. That's the network thing. I would say you just got to hammer it.
And part of it is, honestly, I feel like now, like I'm 42 now, so it's like I get like reached out for like mentorship.
Yeah,
and it's like a 21-year-old, and like so you try to like think back of like why has this worked? What are like some simple things? And actually was having coffee with someone recently. I think he's 21, 22. Yeah. And I remember just kind of really drilling down the thing about just consistency and like follow up. Yeah. Where some people kind of like do one meeting
and they think that's it.
And that was it. Yeah. And then like there's no follow-up. Like, and it's like you won't hear from them again for a year. And you're like, that's not how it works. Like,
that's not how it works.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just somehow, some way I got lucky in the sense of just understanding that the world is all relationships and business is relationships. It is. And the other part of it is that you got to look at it where, like, let's say you and I, like, we're going back, we've known each other for about 15 years. Yeah, but 15 years ago, there was no really intersection between us other than essentially a mutual friend. Right. And then you fast forward at whatever we'll call it, like 7-8 years after that, and suddenly there was actually a business intersection. Yeah. And it was like, hey, like, let me bring you in. Totally, I know you. Yeah. And then like that basically fades away, where sometimes the kind of the universes intersect, and sometimes they don't. Right. And we might like I will never say no to something in the sense of like, oh, that's never going to happen. It wouldn't surprise me if 10 years from now, like you and I go into business on something together. It's like 100%. You just never know. You never know. That's why too, like you don't burn bridges either.
Dude, how about references? You've called me. Do you know so-and-so? And I go, oh, I know that guy. Stay away. And other times like, no, he's a real solid dude. You should do business with him. I think, again, people make it about themselves. They think it's transactional. They think that the one coffee they made and then that's it. Like, no, man, you have got to, you think you said it best. You're farming, right? You plant the seeds and then you just got to water them on. Sometimes they pop quick. Sometimes it takes some time.
It's like a combination of, honestly, like I feel like farming, like blindly farming, and just the whole idea of just compound interest. Yeah, because it does compound. Like where it's like you put in
tenfold.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I was telling this 21-year-old of like I was like, you don't realize like you are living in like you don't have a girlfriend, like no kids, no nothing. Like every hour that you put in right now, like pays out like 20-fold when you're older. Yeah. But the problem is a lot of people start that grind when they're like 32 and like they just have like their first kid or something and they're just like, oh crap, I gotta start working now. Yeah. And you're like, you should have put in this work when you were like 22, 23, 24. Correct. So it's actually the best way I always kind of think about it is, you know, those charts where it's like, if you're trying to basically save $1 million for savings and you start at the age of 40, correct, you got to put away whatever we'll call it, 10 grand a month. Right. But if you start putting away $1 grand a month at the age of 22,
Yeah.
it's that.
And even if you stop, by the time you're 65, the guy that started at 22 and the guy continued 40 to 65 has the guy at 22 has more.
Yeah. So it's that to me is relationships too. Is you got to do it early, you got to do it often, and you got to put it's compound interest. You got to put that work in as early as possible.
Yeah, it's stuff that they don't teach you in school, and it's a shame, mostly because educators don't know how to do this. That's why they're in education. But
you never know where people go, and that's one of the other things. Think about all the people that you know, where whatever it's like 15 years ago they were like just a regional sales manager.
Yeah, man.
And today they basically have their own company with 200 people, and they're like, "How do you guys know each other?" And it's like, because we had a great relationship back then.
Correct, man.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, and you got to do solid for people. I mean, one of the things I do immediately, especially if I know that they're smart, talented, good people, and they put on LinkedIn that they've been laid off or they're looking for a new opportunity. I reach out to them because they're at their lowest point too, right? And I say, hey, here's my Rolodex. What do you want to do? Including yesterday, I had a call with a guy, and he was like, "No, man." He's like, "I really appreciate it." Whatever. I was like, "Yeah, man. Like that just pay it forward, dude. Just be a solid person.
It doesn't cost you anything.
It costs me nothing.
Yeah, I always say, look on LinkedIn if there's any mutuals or anyone that I'm connected to, like just let me know. And like if it's somebody I like truly know well, like happy to make an intro.
Yeah,
like it costs you nothing.
Nothing.
And you're literally you are changing someone's life.
Big time, and they will forever remember that.
100%.
So they'll do you a
solid. It's not like you're doing it like to get something, but there's a karma.
There's a karma to it. It's a real thing. Definitely business. Okay, we're gonna get to the meat of why I invited you on the show. And it really started with
sounds like an intervention.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. It started with a LinkedIn /X post. So one, you were very active and very good at X. Touch on that. You even told me to the extent that you've been able to do deals because of your post and your community that you've built on X.
Yeah. Basically, again, I feel like I've had different chapters of X in a way, because the 2010 era was the tech space.
Yep.
And then obviously outside of tech, it became kind of more, and still to a degree is more about Chicago, Chicago real estate, Chicago politics. And then really starting about 2018 became about commercial real estate in the sense of multifamily and just investing in real estate. And through there, again, you quickly realize a lot of people, X has obviously changed through the years, but there's still a lot of, we'll call it high quality people and like very successful people on there. So you quickly see that there's someone out there who owns, we'll call it 15,000 apartments, who's like lurking in Twitter. Yeah. And everyone always says like the gold is in the DMs, which is true because I've had numerous basically DMs from someone who basically I've retired to Puerto Rico. I'm sitting on $150 million and looking to basically invest. Can I invest in your projects? And they're like, dude, we don't even know each other. And there's like no profile pictures. There's nothing. So with Twitter, I quickly again realized that it's a great platform. It's a great way to basically, if you can cut through the noise, it's gotten way harder. Luckily I was early in that space. But with that, I've been, I don't know, I'd say a big proponent on kind of investing in public.
Yeah. And just you're transparent. That's why people like it.
Yeah. So it's,
warts and all.
Just the whole deal. Yeah. Like, I mean, we've had failures. We have things that don't go great. But there's no downside to basically just being honest about that stuff.
Sure.
I will say one of the big things is we don't have investors. So again, it's easy for me to say when we don't have outside investors to be fully transparent. But it also has, I don't know, because of that, like there's a lot of, I don't know, pat myself in the back in the sense I get a lot of respect from people that they're like, I like the style. I like the fact that you are honest and transparent about stuff. And because of that, deal flow. Where when I look at like real estate, one of the interesting things or one of the key things is it's an information business, and to a degree, you're basically looking to trade on insider information. If you can trade on insider information, it's one of the best areas where if you know something's going to happen in this neighborhood, if you know this suburb's going to build this or build a brand new high school and there's some land here, whatever it may be, it's all about information. So, again, in my DMs, there will be someone who says it'll be anything from my family owns this. Do you know anyone who might be interested in buying it? It's off market. Or, hey, would you partner on this? So it's created this vessel or this magnet for me to basically get deal flow, and beyond deal flow, some amazing relationships where I can now call some people friends that I didn't know before that I've gotten to know offline as well, where I can text somebody that is in a completely different market and building skyscrapers and be like, hey, can you check this out for me? Like, this sounds a little like it's not my expertise. Like, take a look. And they're doing a friend a favor. It's the fact that like I've kind of planted all these seeds around where you can kind of check into any industry, into any market, and have someone there to help you.
All right, let's talk about the new deals.
Yeah.
So the reason I've invited you on, and I want to talk about it, because you posted a really good thing about a new investment strategy that you have. And I'll sort of lay it out, and you can provide color commentary. So, okay, so you mentioned you're going to deploy $1 million across 15 emerging GPs. What inspired you, and then why that? And then you said you would land on a third of outcomes. Flop, a third flop, a steady IRR, and I'd like to know what that number is. Yeah. And then a third outperformers.
Yep.
Walk me through the deal.
Yeah. So Scott, my partner with Bear Repeat Capital, we talked, and a lot of opportunities come up where, well, let's take it back. Let's go backwards. Back to basically Twitter, LinkedIn, just networking. Yeah. You start knowing people who do take in money for basically GPs, syndicators who take in LP money, and you get to know them, and you quickly. And again, we've had a very interesting period from like the COVID boom of 2020 till now, where the tides kind of come back. Some people are kind of swimming naked.
Yeah. And you invest heavy Midwest, correct?
Yeah, we're heavy Midwest. Yeah. But we've seen the good operators, the GPs with good intentions, good teams, good thesis, whatever it may be. And we've seen the ones that were basically just kind of riding the wave of easy money.
Right.
There was a time where if this was 2021 and you had a 200 unit deal in the outskirts of Miami, you could raise money like so easily.
Right.
And there's a million of those guys. I mean, one of my favorite stories is basically a guy who is basically bartending at Chili's and also raising millions of dollars for this first apartment deal that he found. Like, should not be in this space. So there was a lot of that happening.
Right.
So through the years, again, I've been watching, and not necessarily with kind of an agenda at that point, but like now, like 5 years later, I'm like, these guys are actually really good. Guys or girls that are really, really good at what they're doing. They're raising money for actually solid deals. And I've seen them kind of go full cycle on deals. So they've performed, they're good people, I trust them. And it's like, well, if you put the money in here 3 years ago, now, let's just say hypothetically, you've doubled your money.
Right.
And to some degree, I mean, everything we do is about double or tripling your money across whatever time frame. So the thought was, well, if it's getting harder for me to basically find deals here in the Chicagoland area, part of it is basically I'm just probably so grounded to what prices were a couple years ago versus what the deals that I do that we do directly, where let's say if I have an LOI out, they need to pencil out back of the napkin math. Like, I'm not taking aggressive assumptions.
Right.
So again, I'm looking for deals here, but the deals aren't penciling as well. So then it kind of like, let's look at the other markets and these GPs who are doing deals in other markets, and it is working out for them. They've got the expertise there. So the thought is identify these GPs. And yeah, like you said, write 10, 15 different checks out. Right. You're trying to narrow it down. And it's kind of like, it's not about the initial check. The initial check is a foot in the door. It's dating.
Right.
You're trying to get to know them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you invest in someone and something goes wrong, the deal goes bad, and it wasn't necessarily their fault.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, something crazy happened that you could not have foreseen. And the opposite is true. So you're trying to, like, again, date them and understand, did this deal go well because of you? Was it like, the why. You're trying to get to the why. And ultimately, I'm trying to narrow it down to, we'll call it 3, 4, 5 GPs who kind of continue to perform. Then we can up the check sizes to get to a point where we can consistently deploy capital into GPs while doing our own deals as well.
Right.
Yeah, no, I really believe in kind of the whole aspect of like pick great jockeys.
Yeah.
And if you put them on and they find pretty good horses, like, but these jockeys you can ride out for 10, 20 years of investing.
Yeah, and you make a lot of money. All right, so you said as part of it, you said your highlights were hustle, local expertise, and real skin in the game. How do you evaluate that? And then what's the due diligence process?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the skin in the game is critical. The capital stack typically kind of works out where sometimes guys have very little to no money in a deal. Sometimes you find out basically with fees where they get paid at the closing table with the fee, and then they just roll that back into the deal and say, that's my skin in the game. And you're like, dude, you really don't have skin.
You don't have any skin in the game.
No, that's not real. And then you come across a 28-year-old who has his entire life savings. He's got his parents' money in the deal. Or like, and you're like, okay, you need to make this work.
You got to make it work. Right?
You're going to make it work.
Yeah.
You're going to be there every day.
Yeah.
You're going to be shoveling snow. You're going to, whatever it takes. So it's figuring out how important is every deal to them. That is very important to me. I don't want it to be just one of 25 deals for them. And if this one doesn't work out, that one will for the next guy. No, that's not for us. So, a lot of that can be done via basically the docs to basically truly understand, do they have real skin in the game or not? Then the hustle piece is just a lot of conversations with them. Yeah, it's understanding to some degree how well do they know what they're talking about in basically their deck. You can kind of quickly figure out if it's a value add deal where they're doing a lot of construction and whatnot. Do they actually know kind of the construction piece, or do they kind of very high level know it? So I'm looking for guys who truly kind of get their hands dirty. They know the inside and out. They're not scared of knocking on doors or whatever it takes. So like the hustle has to be there. And how'd you find the deal? Is it off market? Was it on market? What was that third piece? The hustle, the skin in the game, and then
local expertise.
The local expertise, again,
they need to know the market.
Yeah, in 2020, you had a lot of guys from Jersey who've never been to Jacksonville who find a deal in Jacksonville and they're like, "We're going to buy apartments in Jacksonville," and you're like, Stay in your own. Like,
TikTok was so great for that market.
So it's just like I need what I like are guys and girls who are operating in their market. They know it inside and out. Because sometimes it's the difference between this block and that block, and like their stories.
And they're committed to that city. They're committed. Yeah, they got egg on their face if it goes sideways, 100%. And they burn a lot of local investors. How much of this is gut, and how much of it is data?
It's a combination. No, it's
like 50-50?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 50-50. I mean, the data has to back it up. Like
correct.
Where the data is called the easier part of it. Yeah. Then the gut is it comes down to like trying to read people. Like, are you bullshitting me? Like trying to get an understanding of like how much this means to them. Like is this a job for them, or is this like the rest of their life? Like, do they want to be doing this forever? It's again, for some, I think real estate is like a craft, and they truly love the hustle and they love the chase, and like they want to be in it forever. And for some, it's like it's good money right now, and if it doesn't work out, I'm just going to go work over here. Yeah, and you're like, well, that's not
that's not what you want. Yeah, because I think with time, and specifically with networkers, one of the things that is strong, and I've seen as sort of an outlier trait that they have, is they're really good at pattern recognition. Yeah. Right? I've seen this before. Yeah. This reminds me of this. This 100%. Played out like that. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. It has always been my experience that when I've seen pattern recognition, I was like, or that's a winner. Yeah. And we're going to back that winner.
Even if your gut isn't right 100% of the time.
Right.
Like, it's still probably more than 50% of the time. So it's from an investment standpoint, like, trust your gut. Like, if something feels off, or you're just like not, and there's a deal right now that I'm looking at, and it's where I'm on the fence about it, and it's just there's plenty of fish out there. Like the way I always kind of think about it is like, let's just say again, putting capital work standpoint in real estate, if the year is 1970, 1980, whatever, like the world of investing passively into real estate to a degree was if at your local country club you met this person who basically puts together investor money and they buy a deal. That was it. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like, hey, I want to put money into hospitality in Latin America, I can find you a guy in 30 minutes who basically is raising money for a deal in Argentina to build a hotel.
Right.
Like it's so if you don't feel like if you have to have that
there's plenty of deal flow.
There's plenty of deal flow. Yeah. So you have to have that level of basically just what's the right word?
Yeah, confidence to walk away.
Yeah.
And know that right around the corner there's probably another deal that is going to be better.
Conviction. It's having the conviction. Yeah. So like if you don't have the conviction again, like so kind of on the fence deals, it's not worth doing.
Yeah.
It's not,
you posted this whatever in the last 2-3 months, and you've already done 2 deals, right? Very quick highlights. Why'd you do those deals? Yeah. What excites you about them?
I mean, honestly, first and foremost, the people.
Okay.
It has to start with the people. Again, that's the jockey aspect.
Yeah.
So both of them are people that I've gotten to know, like personally, just like outside of the deal, outside of the deck. Also, I do reference checks in a sense.
Yeah.
Like not like, hey, give me your reference check.
Yeah, you call it on the industry.
Yeah, and it's just like your industry, my industry. Like we all know each other.
Correct.
So it's like you can't hide. So you talk to the brokers, you talk to these, like, and you get a sense of their reputation. So yeah, basically very solid reputations. Like they're in it for the right reasons. Then we underwrite the deals. We make sure that like the deal actually makes sense. There's like a viable path, and I've got kind of layers and a way to basically vet it outside of even me. So I kind of bring in outside expertise on it. And if that passes, the people side of it passes, there's nothing fishy that comes up and whatnot. It's deals that I believe in and I would want to do myself, but for one reason or another, it's just not something I'm willing to do. So a great example is this last deal, which is a conversion of an office building here in Chicago in the Gold Coast River North area, from office to roughly about 90 apartments. I fully believe that Chicago needs more supply, or housing supply. The demand is there. It's been crazy this year in terms of demand for apartment demand. New construction is at essentially like an all-time low for apartments in Chicago. So I very, very strongly believe in the kind of high-level thesis and this conversion and your after built costs and all that, and just everything makes sense. I'm not willing to go through basically the brain damage of like just all of that.
Yeah, right.
So,
and that's not what you guys do.
No, we don't want to. Right. So I think it's what I optimize for is no strikeouts.
Right.
But I am happy hitting singles and doubles for the rest of my life. And the way we kind of like what I've stuck to is hitting singles and doubles consistently gets you into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm not trying to hit home runs.
Tony Gwynn.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't need. When you try to basically swing for the fences, you might also strike out.
Yeah.
So we're not doing deals that are potentially going to 10x your money or 100x your money. I have fun with that in other areas outside of real estate, but when it comes to real estate, it's stuff that I very, very strongly believe in that I just don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because also, again, it's part of that is just the recognition of I don't know if I would be good at that sort of project. Let's just say, again, if it's a new construction building in Chicago, it's 100 units. Yes, I know I can figure it out. I know I can build a team around me to figure it out. But there's somebody out there who's doing it, who's done a great job of it, and you can basically invest in them.
Yeah, right. And without all the heavy lifting.
Without all the heavy lifting. And yes, you obviously are getting a smaller return because of the fact that you're not taking on the brain damage. But it's okay. But like the way I look at it is from, let's just say from an IRR perspective, it's the difference between, let's say, a 22 IRR and you do the deal, or a 16 IRR and you're just an LP.
Right.
Like 16, sleep well. Like
don't sweat it too much.
Don't sweat it too much versus community meetings and zoning and
which is why the guy's getting the premium.
The pitchforks come out after you, calls. And I don't want that.
Give me the current state of commercial real estate. So down here in Chicago, I'm downtown, all these beautiful buildings. I don't know what occupancy rates are right now?
Yeah.
What's your sense?
So let's say Chicago, it's kind of a tale of two cities in a sense.
Okay.
Part of it is which neighborhoods are you and what asset type are you?
Right.
So obviously if you are in the core loop area and you've got a 1950s office building, it's good luck to you.
Yeah.
But if you have,
but can they convert those buildings?
Some of them are incredibly tough and
you're
potentially not. It's the floor plates aren't conducive to it.
Yeah.
You don't have enough light.
The elevators.
There's just so many reasons where suddenly it's like it just doesn't make sense. The juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Right.
When it comes to apartments in the core neighborhoods, Lincoln Park, Lakeview, River North, Gold Coast, especially West Loop, the demand has basically it's off the charts.
Really?
I mean, rents are still going up here in Chicago.
Wow.
And there's a lack of cranes. I mean, there's a Chicago crane tracker.
Right.
And back years ago, I think it pretty much peaked in the Rahm Emanuel mayoral period, and now we are at the very bottom of that, which is not good for anyone. I mean,
it's not good for anybody.
I want more housing. I am very much a build
yeah
guy,
I am too.
Which is obviously it's kind of call it against my own book,
right?
Because the less supply we have, my rents go up and my stuff is worth more. But that's not good for humanity. It's not good for any reason. We need more affordable housing.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that, what drives me crazy is, again, through this COVID period, we saw a boom in, say, Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas rents basically went up. Mm-hmm. All this new supply came in, and rents just went down.
Yeah.
And that's because of it's supply and demand.
It's supply and demand. And listen, you don't want a situation. Look, not to get political, but the mayor race in New York is coming down to, hey man, my rent's gone up 60% in the last 3 years. My wages hasn't come. It's affordability. Yeah. And people don't give a crap about the debt ceiling and this and that. They care about my rent went up through the roof.
Yep.
The eggs, crime, the blocking and tackling of everyday life is probably what everyday Joe cares about.
Absolutely.
And what they fail to recognize in some cities, let's say in New York, all over California, is if you don't build and develop, this is the bottleneck. And if you have all these restrictions and all these coding and all this red tape, you're really going to cause a lot of problems and a lot of headaches for people.
Yeah, people get fed up. Yeah,
they get fed up
for very good reasons.
For very good, there's a great piece of land there. Or knock down that building. Let's get going.
No, instead they make it incredibly difficult.
Yeah,
and it blows my mind because it's such a. There's a lot of things in this world
that are low-hanging fruit for these politicians.
There's a lot of things in the world that we can't solve easily.
Right.
But building a building, it's construction. It's not brain surgery.
It's not hard.
Let's build more.
Correct.
So it drives me crazy because again, it shouldn't be a political issue. Housing and just construction should not be it should not be political.
It should not be political. No. But then you have the noisy neighbors who not in my neighborhood, but love to virtue signal on everything else.
NIMBYs, I hate you.
I could see you being a thorn in the side of the NIMBYs.
Oh, I hate NIMBYs. Yeah, no. It's again, it goes against my book, but it's it's not good. I mean, we recently had one here in Old Town.
Yeah,
where they wanted to build a tower, and they basically their argument was we don't want these tall towers here. And then it's
you live in the
surrounded in tall towers. What are you talking about?
You live in two of the biggest buildings in the world here.
It's like building next to O'Hare and being it's too noisy.
Yeah.
You're
they complain just to complain. Well, I mean, it's funny. I went to the Bears game on Sunday, and I'm there and I'm going to this parking lot, and I look at my wife and I said, "Do you realize by now the Lucas Museum would be here?" This museum, I mean, there isn't a better global brand than Star Wars. You're going to get people from all over the world. By the way, he was going to put up most of the money for it. We had to give up the land and some tax credits, peanuts, compared to the tourism bull run that we would have gotten. And it would have been done right about now.
Don't get me started on the friends of the park. They're
the worst. And guess what's still there? A parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, these are people who are anti-progress. Look at the Obama Library.
Yeah.
Still not done.
No.
How is that possible?
No. There's... I don't think sometimes people don't realize kind of that second and third level effect of what happens. So they block something and they're victory, but you don't realize what you have done now. Because again, let's just say from a tourism perspective, and the thing about tourism is okay, so yes, you have more people coming into the city. Great. But tourism dollars also drives tax dollars.
Correct.
Whether hotel revenue taxes, food taxes, you name it.
Especially this time in the restaurants, the hotels, like they need it.
No, the city needs it. We need tax revenue.
Correct.
So, like, my opinion, the best way to basically deal with our fiscal issues is by increasing revenues. So, not by not by taxing people, but by essentially, basically, let's grow our tax base.
Correct.
So, we need more tourism. We need more residents. We need more, like, that's the way out of our issues is basically growing our fiscal, like, the tax base.
Correct.
And so the Lucas Museum, yes, it wasn't going to be perfect. I don't know specifics on the exactly the carve outs, but like I know it wasn't a perfect deal, but at the end of the day, I believe it would have been a net positive for the city.
Been a great positive
for multiple reasons.
And it's also a year-round project.
Yeah.
So like Chicago's great in the summer, but the summer's 3 months, right?
You
that thing, trust me, December, Johnny from France is going to come see it because he loves Star Wars. Yeah. It's such a missed opportunity in the city.
And when you see the renderings, it just makes you
super
cry.
Cool. Super cool. It looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, it makes you cry.
You brought something today. So you're not only an investor in real estate and all these things, you finally dipped your toes into a consumer product. What is this? And I'm about to try it for the first time.
Yeah. So this is Laurel's. Laurel's is a latte company, canned latte company that uses A2 dairy.
Okay, what is A2 dairy?
So A2 dairy is same cows as we've always had. They're not. It's not like they're.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's super tasty. It's not like they're GMO or altered cows. Some cows have A1, A2 protein genes. Some only have the A2 gene. Mm-hmm. Humans have a hard time breaking down the A1 protein gene. These only have the A2, which is far easier digestible by humans. So sometimes when somebody says I'm lactose intolerant, and they have a dairy sensitivity, it's not actually a lactose sensitivity.
Okay.
It's actually the A1 protein that they're sensitive to. So A2 is a category that's basically been growing year over year. Mm-hmm. Costco is now the number one seller of A2 milk.
Really?
So they're super pumped about A2. Whole Foods has realized that A2 basically products are growing. There's a great ice cream company called Alex Ice Cream.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's delicious. I like it more than Jenny's.
Okay.
I get their pints all the time from Whole Foods. Yeah. So the A2 category keeps growing, and I met this founder, Isabel, and she started doing the A2 dairy lattes. Tasted it. Again, first and foremost, the people side, she's awesome. Former McKinsey, super sharp. Love her. But the product obviously has to be good too.
Yeah, so right.
So
how did you meet her? Just curious.
Again, it's basically connections. It's one connection to the next connection. So it wasn't a random off the street or like an ad or something. It was you got connected, and she's raising money. Uh-huh. And I talked to her, tried the product, and I was like, no, this is legitimately tasty. The other thing is, I'm like, one of my chapters was tech, where
right.
It's not tangible. It's your friends don't really know or touch it or whatever. But with this, like, hey, try this. What do you think? Hey, try this. What do you think? Your friends, your neighbors, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
Friends coming over, try this. What do you think? Neighbors, try this. What do you think? And everyone loved it. Yeah. And I was like, okay, like, it's not just me. I'm not being biased of like, this is tasty. And the valuations are fair. Like, it's again, you look at tech, and it's like pre-revenue, no customers. And they're like, we're raising $10 million with a $50 million.
Yeah, this lady had a real business.
Yeah, she's got a real business. And at that point was doing, we'll just say 6 digits a month in revenue as well.
So she's got a good business.
And now the exciting piece of it is launching nationwide into Whole Foods.
No way.
Whole Foods is so excited about it. They didn't even do a test market, and we're going nationwide. Some markets in about 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Chicago should be October.
Are they based in Chicago?
No, LA.
LA. Got it. Very cool. All right. So since you're into investing, we're going to play a game.
Okay. Sports card investing?
We're definitely going to talk about sports cards in a minute. Yeah. For people who listen to the show, I don't know how should we say this. So you and I also invest in sports cards. Yeah. Cards. We when you talk about big,
we got to make sure we're clear. Not sports cars. Sports cards.
Yeah. Right. One is really cool. The other one's really geeky.
Exactly.
And I think one of the talking about investing blunders is that you and I. So the national show is in Chicago almost every year. We've been going forever. You and I, right before the boom. So if you don't follow the market, card evaluations have just gone crazy. The market is out of control. I think there's a bit of a bubble, but we'll see. Because it was right before not only COVID, where people were, sort of missing sports and it took off, but I think it finally hit the peak of after 30 years of in the basement of tech and collecting marriage, right?
Well,
and then young people got into it.
Well, it's young people got into it, but I think one of the biggest pieces of it is you had a lot of people our age,
yes,
who suddenly have some money, more disposable income,
correct,
and can buy these cards that they always wanted as a kid.
That you always wanted as a kid, right? Yeah. It's like an art collection for like sports guys.
When people look at PE and like all these companies are basically like the owners need to retire because they're like this is part of that.
Part of it, 100%.
Is because it's that whether instead of buying the Corvette, this guy's buying a Mickey Mantle card.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And it's been a big boom. But to go back to one of our blunders, you and I went in 2019. We're very conservative when we should have been super bullish, buying everything. For the investments we made, we did very well. But the old Warren Buffett saying that you should be greedy, when people are fearful.
And we're talking
we didn't follow that.
No, I think just to really drill it home, let's use the LeBron rookie card as an example. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken with my numbers, I think back then the Topps Chrome card was roughly about $1,200.
Yeah, probably
something like 12, 13, right. 1,400. Like we'll call it 1,200.
Yeah,
and I think it peaked out around 25,000.
Yeah,
within 2 years.
It's crazy, dude.
So whatever, we'll call it a 20x in a matter of less than 36 months. It's insanity.
Oh, and by the way, you could have bought 100 at that show.
Oh,
now it's hard as hell to find them.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hold on to them.
Yeah. No, what's interesting, and obviously going back to Scott, Scott's the genius here, where there's been these waves of Chase the big card, which was again like the Jordan rookie card, the LeBron rookie card, and now it's shifted into Chase the scarcity,
right?
Cards that there's only one of or two of or whatever. The scarcity aspect, but it's a lot of fun, but it sucks when you go to the show now and you're kind of anchored to the prices of back then.
Correct.
And I didn't buy anything this year.
We just went. We went to the show. We didn't buy. I bought a couple things just for fun.
Yeah.
But the market is just it's out of control. You're like, where's this money coming from? But all right, we're gonna play a game called Buy or Sell. I'm gonna give you a word and you're gonna say buy or sell.
Okay.
It could be a term. It could be anything. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Side hustles.
Buy.
Yeah. Landman Season 2. We're both fans of the show.
Buy, absolutely.
Answering all your DMs.
No. Sell. Was buy, sell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sell. No.
I thought you were a big DM guy. You can't keep up. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. No,
but you're very responsive to
Yes,
people.
I try, and I will say it, like, I've realized just with age or whatnot, and like with my kids and all, it gets harder and harder to keep up. Like, I might be a week or two late. I will get back to you. But it gets hard.
It gets hard. Okay. Yeah. Baseball cards.
Oh, buy. Vintage.
Okay. So you're into vintage. Yeah. So am I.
Yeah.
All right. Bitcoin.
Buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Bear Season 4.
Sell.
I'm selling too. The 2025 Chicago Bears.
I will always have to say buy, even if I don't fully believe it or like I'm skeptical.
Oh no! Dolphins, I'm selling. I mean, who wants to buy it? I'm selling. I'm shorting that stock.
What's interesting, speaking of buying, is I think we're going to see some movement here on the selling of the team.
I mean the family, the state of the family and the stadium stuff. Yeah, I can see that.
And I've heard Chicago rumors, because what a lot of people don't know is that there's a ROFO on the Bears.
Okay.
A right of first refusal that the Ryan family has.
That's right. They own a big piece.
Yeah,
that's right.
They, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 5 to 10% of it, but they do have that ROFO, and.
The thing is, can they stroke a $10 billion check, a $12 billion check?
I think they know enough. I mean, they've done well. So it might not, obviously it's not them completely,
Right.
but they can put the money together.
Oh, yeah.
So
They could totally
I
put the
don't
money
know
together.
if the Bears will hit the open market. This will be interesting.
The number's going to be massive. It is a cherished brand in the third largest TV market. People love it, and then they're going to get a new stadium. Yeah, I mean, who was the last team to sell? Well, the Lakers sold for 10.
Yeah.
NFL was Denver. No, the Commanders.
Yeah.
Okay, and they got 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Chicago's got to get 10. Right?
I think. Yeah.
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 Can you imagine? Jesus. Yeah. All right. Work from home.
So.
Me too. All right.
It's
not one size fits all.
Yeah.
It's not
absolutely.
All right. Some flexibility. All right.
I'm a very Jamie Dimon response to that.
I am too. I am too. I like having people. You got to give
flexibility.
Yes. I'm 100%. Yeah. You don't need to be there 8 to 5. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. The next two are very important. Scott Skinger coming on this podcast. Buying or selling?
Absolutely buy. Absolutely.
You're gonna say buy? Yeah, I thought you would have said sell.
No, bring him on.
There's no. I'd love to have him on. I thought there would be zero chance that he comes on.
Oh, we're not talking about chance of him coming on.
But chance of coming on.
No, there's zero chance.
Yeah. Zero chance. Yeah.
Especially if it's in the city.
You know what? This is on the record. I will go to whatever crazy suburb he lives, and we will find a podcast studio out there.
No, you need to go to. It's got to be at his house or something. Yeah,
no problem. In his basement, in his cargo shorts, it'll be great.
It's surrounded by cards.
Surrounded by baseball cards.
That would be fun. You got to do a card.
No, that's the topic. I don't want to talk. Nothing else about him is interesting other than the cards.
And just make him basically showcase the cards that he has. Like it would be.
He'll be more comfortable.
He'll get more viewers than I will if he shows his cards. Yeah,
he will absolutely. Okay.
Just pulling out cards out of his cargo shorts. These slab after slab. Another one.
Yeah. Mickey Mantle rookie.
Look at this $500,000 card.
Yeah. Hornets Wagner. Here you go. All right. Buying or selling the city of Chicago?
Absolute buy.
Why?
100%. Why?
The crane, I've noticed. The only crane I saw was for the casino, which I don't know if that's a great idea.
I don't like the casino.
I don't like it either.
Again, it's a social negative.
I think. I do too.
It's not good for people. Buy Chicago, absolute buy. I mean, politics is temporary.
Yeah.
So you kind of can't look at it in just today's flash in the pan, kind of where we are. I do think we are, in my opinion, like in the bottom of kind of things.
Can't get much worse.
I mean, it can, but like,
but
I really don't think. Sometimes I feel like Chicago lets other cities go the extreme ways, sees what happens, and then doesn't let it happen here.
Yeah.
And I think, again, we've seen some changes. I'm a big fan of our new state's attorney, Eileen O'Burke. I think we are going to have a change at the with Preckwinkle.
Yeah.
I do believe we'll see a good win by Brendan Riley there.
Mm-hmm.
And then things can get better. We should see more construction, more like CPS is an issue. The CTU, I should say,
correct, because they run the city now, pretty much. I mean, they got a puppet at mayor there.
Yeah, I think again, I think more people have kind of come or woken up to the sense of whether it's CTU and all the like different things. If you go back, 10 years ago, I think a lot of people were like CTU, like they're out there for the kids. It's for their education. It's for the schools. And you're like, no. It's not
for them. Yeah,
it's for them.
It's a power grab. It's for them. They don't care about the kids.
No. So with all that said, Chicago, I mean, again, a day like today outside, how could you not fall in love with the city? You've got with the lake, the fresh water,
awesome.
Just everything. We have all the right elements to be much, much better than where we are today. And I think we will get there. It might not be in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but long term, it's an absolute buy.
Well, there's a reason I asked you that question because I'd like for you to throw your name in the hat for mayor.
Never. No.
And I'd like for you to announce it on the show.
No chance. No chance.
I mean, look, we can help you raise the money.
30 seconds after I do that, I think my wife would divorce me. Rightfully so. Like, she wants to know. Like, and I don't blame her at all. I like to basically, again, going back to just
support great candidates.
Support great candidates. Get involved. Don't get involved when it's too late.
Yeah.
A lot of people like making noise after something is passed or it's too late.
Yeah.
So if you strongly believe in something, get involved earlier. So. Yeah. Again, there's a lot of really great people in the city who are getting activated in a sense and just engaged. And I think we have a really, really kind of fruitful, bright future ahead of us. But we need more. We need more housing.
Yeah. We there's a lot of things that they can do, a lot of levers. I've always liked Chicago. I mean, look, just their economy is very diverse. It's everything is here, diverse. Everything, right? And then you just have, it's the hub of the Midwest, right? So if you're in the Northeast, you can go to Boston, New York, DC. If you want to get into sort of the government world, here you always get that Big Ten school talent, right? Yeah. And they make it a home here, and it is somewhat affordable compared to other big markets. You got to deal with shitty weather, but who cares? It's a great city. So I'm bullish on it. I think it's got to get its act together before it's too late. Yeah,
and I strongly believe in the fact that Big Ten graduates are our lifeblood. Yeah, and we have to basically cater to them in a sense of making this a very desirable place to live. Yeah. If you go back to, so I graduated high school in 2000. It's like when you look at all the schools that kids when they graduated in 2000 from the Chicago area, Chicago suburbs, there was a lot of Big Ten schools. Right. Very little back then would people go into an SEC school or like that now. But that has changed now.
No, it's changed.
There's far more competition, and so after they go to whatever, let's say Alabama, Texas Tech, or whatever, they might go to Austin now. They might go to Miami now. Right. They might go to Atlanta. Back then, your choice, you went to whatever, your typical thing was you go to Champaign, you go to Madison, you go to Iowa,
and you come back,
or your cities were it was Chicago, maybe New York.
Yeah, right.
And pick another random one. Yeah. But Chicago was always a top 3 potential choice. Yeah, man. We need to make sure that that is the lifeblood of the city. So many companies have been started by basically Big Ten graduates here. Yeah. Some the workforce is made out of it. So we have to make sure that Chicago is incredibly appealing to graduates.
Yeah, once you have a brain drain, the city goes to crap.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
So how can people find out about you?
Going back to Twitter, SteelX on Twitter. If they want, you can email me at Iman, IMAN, at chicago.com, which is a great story too.
That's right. You have Chicago. Yeah. How do you get that?
Briefly. Again, going back, whatever. Let's say 20 years ago, one of the guys in tech basically bought the domain chicago.com. A bunch of us were able to basically get email addresses from him. And then the domain has actually traded hands, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 times. And they've allowed us to continue to have.
Yeah, because I've always wondered that. How do you have that?
So it's been incredible because just from a personal branding standpoint, anytime you meet someone, you're just if you remember my name, my email address. Yeah. What's awkward sometimes is if you're giving it to a receptionist somewhere at a dentist, and you're Iman at chicago.com, they look at you and they're wait, what?
Who has that kind of email address?
Who are you? You're dude,
you're like Madonna.
It's not a big deal.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Lots of success. Hopefully next year, this time of year when I come back, we'll do a recap.
Yeah, let's do it.
What worked, what didn't work. Hopefully
here's all the investments that didn't work.
And then we'll talk baseball cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Congrats on your investment in this milk company. Really excited and tastes great. So go check it out at Whole Foods. But let's go grab dinner.
Let's do it.
Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Once again, I want to thank our sponsors, D2C Design, your design firm for anything related to Shopify, e-commerce, and your website needs. Again, you can find them at d2cdesign.com. Thanks.